Hey guys, this is Bryan with American Steel Carports. And as you can tell behind me, we are in front of another gorgeous looking white span. It's kind of a skeleton right now, but let's go check everything that it has to offer. Welcome back, guys. We're gonna be out here in Bandera, Texas. It's quite a bit of ways from Joshua, Texas. But we are gonna be checking out this white span here. The size on this building is gonna be 80 foot wide. The length on it is gonna be 85 foot long. It does have a divider wall here, about 20 feet from the front. The height on this building is gonna be 13 foot tall. And the way that the white span truss is made, you're gonna have just a little bit more room because it is so big. Now, this building doesn't have much to look at right now, but we are going to show off just a little bit of the things, what makes up a wide span structure. Here, you can see that the truss or the leg of a wide span is going to be a lot bigger than our normal buildings. Normally, our buildings are going to come with just the tubing itself, and some, even our taller buildings, are going to have two pieces of tubing welded together. But this one, you're gonna see that it does have the pieces of tubing and then the zigzag pattern. That's just gonna help the building stay engineer certified here in the state of Texas. And come over this way just a little bit, you're gonna be able to see that the customer does have the X bracing here on this corner of the wide span structure. As well, he does have it on the other three corners of this structure. Now, to get inside this building, the customer does have a walk-in door right here. There's gonna be the normal, 36 by 80 inch walk-in door. So let's go ahead and use it and get inside the structure. You can see that this wide span is gonna have, because it is completely vertical, that means the roof and the sides and ends as well, is gonna have the girts running along the side of this wide span. And I guess at this point, we can show off that the customer does have all these hat channels running along the top side of the wide span. Now, one thing I do want to remind people is that working on a wide span structure, you are going to need equipment to get these buildings up because the trusses are so heavy. Now, here you can see that we did rent a telescopic lift with forks, and we did rent two of them to get both sides and help, put the trusses up very nice and easily. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but here in the back, the customer does have an 8x8 frame out for a roll-up door. Let's walk around this lift and show the other side of this wide span structure. And here you can see that the customer does have the other walk-in door here on this side. You can kind of tell that the customer does have the walk-in doors on either corner, one here and over there, and then the two on the other front end wall over here. Customer does have some plumbing that he's already done to the concrete. All right, and walking towards the front, we aren't gonna go all that way just because the guys are working and we're trying to let them finish. But you will see that the customer does have that partition wall 20 feet from the front. On that partition wall, the customer does have a double door walk-in door frame out. And then on the front end wall leading outside the building, the customer does have the 10 by 10 roll-up door. We're gonna come back later whenever the guys are a little bit more progressed. Hopefully they'll have this sheet metal up and some of the doors, some of the windows, and we'll show off all that. Real quick though, before we leave, I did want to show off the concrete. So yeah, let's get back outside this building and we'll show that off. All right guys, so here we're going to show you the concrete. The customer does have an apron all around his metal structure, but the building is sitting on notch detail that the customer did get. So remember, that's going to be 1.5 inches above the rest of the concrete, and the sheet metal is actually going to run past it a little bit. So that's going to minimize any water or any critters like that from getting inside his metal structure. So here in B-roll, we're also going to show just how thick this customer did happen to get the concrete pad. His site was pretty unlevel, so to make it level, you know, he had to get a bunch of concrete. And we'll go ahead and show that real quick. But anyways, that's it for today. We are gonna let the guys work a little bit more uninterrupted. And so stick around later in the video. We're gonna show day 2 of this wide span building. All right, guys, we're here on day 2. Well, day 2 of us anyways, on this install, on this 80 wide. You will see that the guys pretty much have all the walls put up. That's the 4 walls, the 2 end walls, the side walls. They also have this divider wall that's right here, looks about 20 feet from the front. You can see that the customer did also buy the roll-on vapor barrier that we offer at American Steel Carports. They did it for all the walls except for the interior wall. See, they did it all along here. Because this building is an A-frame, it does have everything vertical. So luckily, with that comes all the girts, and that's gonna help put the sheet metal on the siding of the building. You see right now that they are cutting out the door frames for the walk-in doors, as well as the windows they are doing right now. They also got framed out here, the roll-up door here on the back end. They are gonna put it up a little bit later, as well as on the front. They do have that framed out as well. That's another roll-up door. And then on the divider wall, in between the 2 sections, they do have framed out for now, but we do know that the customer is gonna put their own custom double walk-in door right there instead of one of our products. Just as a reminder, if you as a customer have a door or window or something extra that we don't offer at American Steel Carports, we won't install it for you, but just let us know the size of it. We'll cut out a frame it out so that later on that you can come and install it yourself. I think for today and tomorrow, they are gonna finish out the rest of the doors and windows that are gonna be on this building. We do also know that they are gonna have a lean-to out from the front of this wide span. So they will finish, I think by tomorrow, installing that as well and putting the roof on that. And then I believe that's it for now. We'll show a lot of B-roll, a lot of shots of what we're talking about here. And then, we'll be back on day 3. Day 3 for us, when they finish putting the roof on this structure, cleaning it out, make sure everything's nice and good to go. And then they'll do an inspection with the customer, and then, we'll showcase once it's all done. All right, guys, and just like that, with power editing, we're here on day 3 in Bandera, Texas, checking out this wide span building. Just a quick reminder, this building is 80 feet wide, 85 foot long. Well, now that it's completed, we're able to see everything that this building does have to offer. Before the customer does all their custom modifications to it, let's check to see what American Steel has constructed. So here on the front, you can see that the customer did do earth brown for the whole scope of the building. That's gonna be the roof, the sides, the ends, the color matching screws that the customer got with this structure. As far as the trim as well, you can see here along the peak of this building, as well as the doors, the windows, the roll-up door here. Now here from the front, you can see the customer did do something just a little bit different. The customer does have this awning coming from the front, covering the main garage door that the customer does have here, dead center of this structure. You can also see that the customer got 2 different type of windows on this building. Over here on the sides, customer does have the 30 by 53 inch windows on either side of the walk-in doors here. And those walk-in doors are gonna be our standard 36 by 80 inch walk-in doors that we offer. Remember, those have the base rail on the bottom. So, whenever you go inside the building, you are gonna have just that little bit to step over, but nothing too drastic. In the case that you don't want that, you're gonna want to opt for the heavy duty walk-in doors that we offer. That's gonna remove the base rail and the threshold that's down there, allowing you to quickly walk in and out with not having to step something over. The other kind of windows that the customer did happen to get are on either side of this roll-up door here. And those are gonna be our 36 by 36 inch windows here. Well, let's go a little closer. Now remember, the customer did get concrete on this building, and the customer also did happen to do a notch detail all along the building as well as this apron around the structure as well. You'll be able to see here in front of the roll-up door that the customer did get the notch detail. Remember, that's going to sit an inch and above the actual rest of the concrete to minimize water and all that stuff from getting in. And the good thing about this structure is that since it is a wide span building, it's going to be completely A-frame vertical. That's going to have the roof A-frame vertical, and the panels here on the side are all going to be vertical as well. So the sides and ends, everything's going to be allowing all that water and everything else to quickly fall away from the structure. But this is Bandera, Texas, and it's pretty hot out here, and there's a lot more to see inside. So let's go use one of the walk-in doors and get inside this structure. All right, guys, I'm using one of these walk-in doors to get inside the structure. You see how easy to just close and use the walk-in door. But here inside the structure, you can get a nice look at what a wide span structure looks from the inside. The trusses, the bracing here on the corners to be able to be called engineered certified here in Texas. You're also going to notice here on the sidewalls the girts that run the length of the structure as well to provide more stability. The customer also happened to get our vapor barrier here on the structure, all along the outside walls of the structure. And you'll notice something different that the customer did happen to get is this divider wall here on the inside. Now this is looks to be about 20 feet from the front. Separates this section and the back section, which we know the customer is going to be turning it more into an area for people. They do have, piping here for plumbing later on when they get, when they finish out the rest of the structure. I did want to show off real quick before we get into the other section. The end walls of a wide span structure also have reinforced tubing going up and down, giving you a lot of stability and a lot of peace of mind when it comes to, getting a wide span structure and make sure that it lasts. Now coming this way, on the divider wall that the customer did happen to get, right now they only have an opening here, but the customer did say that later on there are going to be talks of getting a double walk-in door here, separating this side from the main part right here. As far as those windows, the 30 by 53 inch windows that we offer, the customer did happen to get several more along the sides of the structure, as well as the back end wall. You can see that the back here mirrors the front of the wide span structure. It's going to have a walk-in door, one on either side, and the two windows on either side of that. It's going to have another roll-up door here, dead center of the back wall, and also the other type of windows that we offer here on the side of that. Now, as of right now, they don't have a lot of stuff going on, but we do know that whenever they start finishing out the rest of the structure, they got the PVC piping here for plumbing later. They're gonna do some more electrical stuff. They're also gonna do a different type of insulation for the interior walls. They're gonna be finishing it out because people are gonna be using this for like a dojo kind of area like that. So we're curious to see, what kind of style they go for. But as you can tell, and we'll show a little B-roll of it, you can see just how much space, they have to do whatever they choose to do with it. Remember, this was 80 wide and 85 foot long. And just giving you an idea of what you can do with a wide span structure. It doesn't always have to be like a warehouse kind of thing or an arena. You can turn it into, something for your business, something like that. We are hoping to come back whenever they are done finished, finishing it out exactly what they're going to be using it for. And hopefully here and within the next year, we'll be able to show you exactly how it turned out. And we're excited to see that. But yeah, so far, looks very nice. And we're excited to see, what they do with it. All right, guys. Well, that was a quick little tour with the power of editing of a wide span structure. And this was in Bandera, Texas, where the heat and stuff. The client said that the crew did work pretty well in a timely manner. I think roughly it took them maybe a little under 2 weeks. But that just gives them time to inspect the building, make sure that they do everything right, and stores the doors properly, the windows, the roll-up doors, all that stuff. Make sure everything fits. This awning right here on this wide span was a little bit custom, but you know, they made sure that it worked properly. Made sure no leaking is gonna happen, all that stuff, all the screws are placed right, all level. Make sure it looks really aesthetically pleasing and nice colors. We haven't really got an earth brown, you know, building fully enclosed like this in a while. But, you know, here in Bandera, Texas, is going to pair very nice with the hill country, you know, the surrounding areas. We don't get a lot of wide span structures on this channel, but we do like to showcase them when they do come through, you know, giving you ideas of what you could turn them into. A lot of people think they only can be for warehouses or arenas, but you can actually just turn these things into, you know, whatever your heart desires. Luckily, this is going to be very purposeful for the client here on their ranch. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to our channels for future videos, and leave us a comment down below. Anyways, this has been Bryan with American Steel Carports, here to answer questions and show you all that we can do so that you can get your dream metal building too.